What's up, you guys? I'm Eric and welcome back to my channel. No, you grow up. So for today's video, I want to talk about the NECA Mirage line. So this is a line that I was very excited for. I was kind of bummed that they were moving away from the arcade line, but I was okay with that since they were going to start focusing on the Mirage line again. When I first got into collecting, your only option for the comic book figures from NECA were the Comic-Con releases, and I heard that the clamshell ones did go to retail. I never knew that. I thought they were all Comic-Con exclusives. But still, that was all way over 10 years ago. And at this point, I would say that the original Mirage 4-pack and the black and white one are probably two of the most sought after turtle sets there is. They go for a crazy amount on eBay right now. So I was very excited to get a reissue of these figures. I only have 3 of the bootleg ones. I'm still missing my Leo, because when I heard this line was coming back, I was like, why would I get the bootleg? They're gonna probably put these figures out again. And that was kind of my first disappointment with this line, is they said they're straight up not putting out those molds again because they were KO'd to death. Now, I understand that, but here's the thing. If you start off a Turtles line and you don't lead with Turtles, I feel like that is a terrible first step. If they would have just rewritten these molds, people would have went nuts for them. You don't even have to run them in the same colors. You could lighten up the green, you could make them different so it didn't cheapen the original ones, and I would have been fine with that. I really like those original molds. I know they're like a 10+ year old mold at the time, but they still look pretty damn good. And even if you weren't just gonna rerun those molds, they should have led this line with a resculpt. The Mirage line started with these turtles. Why would you not start your line with that as well? In fact, I think we're over a year into this line right now, and we're just now gonna get our first set of turtles, and they're not the ones from the first part of the run. They're the thicker turtles that they kind of evolved into as the run went on, and I personally do like these figures. I think they look great. I'm pretty excited to get them, but not starting the line with them was just a big swing and a miss. The one plus I will give this line is that I'm not very worried about this Turtles 4-pack because these figures have been very easy to get. They're on all the online retailers. I've seen them all at retail a ton, so I hope that does continue to be the case so I can get my hands on these turtles very easily. Outside of not kicking this line off with the turtles, there's still a lot of other problems, the main one being the colors that a lot of the figures are coming out in. So when we got Fugitoid, he looked great. He looked very comic-esque. I had no problem with him. But then we got the off-color Casey and Renette. Now, I'll be honest, I don't really give a shit about the Renette colors. I did end up getting the blue one too, that was a whole other can of worms, but it's weird that they did the Casey with a gray shirt. The red shirt one's been teased, but it hasn't been shown yet, and I feel like they're kind of pulling that dirty move that Hasbro pulls a lot, to where they give you a figure that you want, but not the right version of it, and they give you that one first, because if you got the actual version you want, you wouldn't get that second version. So I kind of feel like that's a shady move. So just recently, a bunch of Best Buy exclusives got announced, which fucking weird. I feel like it just came to my knowledge that Best Buy's been carrying this kind of stuff, and it's very weird that they would give them exclusive figures. But I don't really want to get too deep into the Best Buy thing. I want to really talk about these figures themselves. So the Wanderer Mike, whatever he is, I actually think that's a pretty badass figure. But it's the Shredder Clone 3-pack that really threw me off. So someone from a Facebook group showed a picture of the IDW Color Classics, which are reprints of the original Mirage run, but they're colored, and apparently this is how they recolored them. So word on the street is Viacom's kind of getting on them about doing things in the IDW versions as opposed to the Mirage versions. Which from their angle makes sense because you're still selling these IDW comics, so of course you want to promote them. But as a customer standpoint, this really sucks. First of all, the TMNT comics were never meant to be colored. When they were drawn, when they were inked, they were meant to be black and white. And even if you do try to color them, they're inked so heavily, it just doesn't really feel right. But let's take them and compare them to the Shredder that came with the loot crates, which don't worry, we'll talk about the loot crate situation. Even though he is mostly just black and blue, his helmet, his armor still come in that silver, and these new figures don't, and it just makes it so they don't fit together. And I understand that that's the problem with the Foot Enforcer and the Foot Soldier as well. That's the way they were colored in those IDW books. And again, they just don't look great in figure form. The Enforcer and the Foot Soldier are already 2 different colors, so it's really like nothing in this line fits together at all right now. I realize they have given us a ton of accurate Mirage figures, like the Triceraton. I keep calling him the best figure that I don't have yet. The other 2 Shredder clones are regular colors. Splinter is also coming, and he's in his classic Mirage colors, and I'm very excited for him as well. So hopefully there is a chance that there is more traditional Mirage colors coming. And on top of all these weird color variants they're doing, they're also giving us black and white figures as well. We've only gotten 2 of them, the Foot Soldier and the Shredder, and they came along with that blue Renette and the Auto T launch, which I'm not going to get into that real depth either. We all know what happened there. It's one of the stupidest decisions I've ever seen a toy company make. I understand NECA's owned by this bigger parent corporation that wants to bring up their other brands, but seriously, it's just not working. Like, I can't imagine that anybody from NECA is happy about this. And I wouldn't be either. If I was running a really successful company and they kept trying to dilute my brand to bring up a shittier brand that's never gonna work, I'd be pretty pissed off about that. So I'll cut NECA a little bit of slack there, because again, I don't really think that was their choice. I think it's the company that owns both of them who are behind that idiotic move. So now we have a few regular colored figures, we have these IDW Color Classic reprints, and then we have the black and white figures. So this line is just all over the place. But staying on the topic of terrible ideas, you knew I was gonna bring this one up. The Loot Crate debacle really screwed up this line. So the Blue Shredder, he was a variant, so I could understand why they went with that. That is what Loot Crates should be. They should be a variant. They shouldn't be the original figure that you need to complete a regular series of figures. So I was never happy with the Loot Crate situation, but the Blue Shredder didn't really bother me that much. It's the Crab Claw Shredder clone that really throws a wrench in this for people now. I do have that figure, but a lot of people don't, and he's definitely not the most expensive one on the aftermarket, but it's still an upcharge for that figure if you want to get him to go with the other clones that just got released. And I still do not have those other two clones yet, but I don't have to worry about that because they're very easily available. I already have the hard figure to get, so I'm not sweating getting those other figures. But for a lot of people, it's going to be the exact opposite of that. They're going to be able to get the giant clone and the little one, but to get that Crab Claw Shredder, they're going to have to pay that upcharge, and that really sucks. You should never put regular figures as exclusives. It's a very shitty move, and again, I don't think NECA is 100% responsible for the Loot Crate situation, but I have a strong feeling they were the ones that decided what figure was going to go in there. Maybe they didn't know they were going to go forward with the Mirage line at the time, but regardless, it was still a dumb idea to put that figure in there. So what this all kind of comes down to is the NECA Mirage line just has no identity. It has no real feel to it. It's just all over the place with all kinds of different variants. I really hope we do still end up getting the red shirt Casey. He would be a really big bummer not to get. So hopefully the rumor that Viacom's putting heat on them isn't completely true and they can get that figure out sometime. Again, the Triceraton just came out in regular colors. Those other Shredder clones came out in regular colors, so who knows what'll happen, but at this point, I'm not really a fan of where this line seems to be going. I don't think I'm going to get the Foot Enforcer or the Foot Soldier, and I'm definitely not going to get that Shredder clone 3-pack, but any figures they give me that fit with this regular Mirage vibe, I will pick up. I thought the arcade line was going in a great direction, they just weren't putting out a lot of figures for it, but it just never seemed to get the push that the other ones got. The Mirage line seems to be getting a good push, but it's just all over the place. It has no cohesiveness. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Why does NECA have such a hard time handling a third Turtles line? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you guys for sticking around, liking, commenting, just being cool. I know I'm still a very small channel, but you guys are still helping me build a very, very cool community. Take it easy, be safe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.